Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Wooden Robot Brewing Company out of Charlotte, North Carolina. This beer is called Knuck If You Buck. I don't know what the heck that means, but it just says Table Farmhouse Ale. It's 3.5 ABV. I was just there, and the description said Farmhouse Ale brewed with buckwheat and Cascade hops, I think. So that's what we got here. It didn't say anything about mixed culture, so I don't think this is going to be tart or anything. But it might be a little funky. We'll see. As you can see, I poured this giant can, and that's all that was left. That's because I was drinking some of it before, but I honestly forgot that I wanted to review it, so that's my fault. But it's still fresh. I mean, I only opened it like 3 hours ago, so I figured I'd still give it a proper review. So I would take the carbonation with a little discount because it has been open for a couple hours, but I mean the beer itself is still carbonated. As you can see, it pours a slightly cloudy, darker golden color. There's still a little bit of white head hanging out there. See, the aroma smells like a really nice, like craft lager, but it's a little so it has a little bit of a slight like corn character, a little bit of caramel malt. It's a little perfumey. I'm assuming it's from the hops, and earthy. I mean, which makes sense if it is Cascade. And there's almost a little bit of a yeast influence too, which is interesting. I mean, it's not like I guess if there's buckwheat in it, maybe that has something to do with it too. I've had several meads that were made with buckwheat, which I really, really liked, but I haven't had too many beers made with buckwheat, so I can't really say how that imparts a flavor in a beer. So I'd say it's like medium carbonation. And it's pretty much the same as when I opened it. So I mean, it's nothing great, nothing bad about it. It's pretty standard. It's a little on the sweet side for a farmhouse beer. You know, generally I would think that most of those are pretty dry. With these guys, it's kind of a wild card when it comes to farmhouse beers because they don't generally say like mixed culture or sour. So like some of them are like this, and they're just like traditional farmhouse ales, but they're clean, and they do other things that are called farmhouse ales that are actually tart. So you never really know what you're getting when it comes to that. I'm not necessarily hating on them for that, but I wish I would know going into it what it is. Not that everything they make is good, so it's not that I'm not going to like it, but I just would kind of like to know what I'm getting into. So yeah, it's odd to me because I don't really think of this as like even clean farmhouse ales, I think of them as like estery and yeasty and pretty dry, and I don't really think this is any of that. It doesn't mean it's a bad beer, though. I mean, it has a crap ton of flavor for being 3.5%. I will say that. To me, it tastes like, this was their attempt at a nicely hopped craft lager. like golden craft lager, and I think it's really good. I like it a lot, but I don't think, like, I don't know, I wouldn't call this a farmhouse ale. Like I said, there is a little bit of a yeasty character to it, but that's pretty minimal. It's mainly like corn and caramel malt, and there is, you know, a nice, well-rounded, earthy, hoppy bitterness and flavor to it. So I really, really like it. I mean, it is super flavorful for being 3.5%. I just don't necessarily think that I would associate it with being a farmhouse ale, because not only is it, I mean, I know farmhouse ales can be clean, but it has like no, to me, it has no semblance of like a saison or anything. So if it doesn't even have Brett in it, and it's not like a dry, earthy saison, like, to me, farmhouse, like, what does farmhouse mean then? So I'm not trying to say they mislabeled it, but at least in my opinion, I'm not really necessarily picking up on those things. But that's just based on the description of the beer. The beer itself is actually really, really good. I would definitely buy this again. I wish they would can this. I mean, I think this whole crowler was like $12, which some people might hate on because it's only 3.5%. But I don't care what the ABV is. I care about the taste, and for that, I think that's a pretty good deal. So, on my scale of buy, drink, dump, this is definitely a buy. It's really, really good stuff. I would drink the crap out of this. I mean, honestly, to me, it reminds me of, like I was talking about, low ABV lagers that are like really well crafted. It reminds me of the Burial Inner Tube. It's similar to that. It's not as light, but like, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, because yeah, if you're drinking something low ABV, you want to be able to drink a lot of it, but at the same time, if it is only 3.5%, it's pretty impressive that it has that big of a body, at least in my thoughts. So yeah, this is definitely a buy, and I think this just went on tap not too long ago, so if it sounds interesting to you, let me know, or if you know people in Charlotte, get a crowler of it. It's really tasty stuff. So yeah, that's all I got on this guy. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.